So in this video we are going to see how to download MODIS data using Python. So if you have ever used Earth Data or Earth Explorer to download data, you might have seen that you have to do it manually. Select the scene you want, select the region of interest and the time frame, and that can be tedious and is also not scalable. So that is why we require a programmatic way to do it. So let us see how you would download MODIS data in this video. So the way we would download our data is using a Python package called MODIS tools. So this package internally uses an API provided by NASA called Earth Data CMR API, Common Metadata Repository, which hosts a catalog of various data set. Along with MODIS there are various other data set, and let us search through that catalog via the endpoint. So this package currently only supports MODIS dataset, but with very little modification we can also download other dataset. So let us see how you would use MODIS tools Python package to download it. So for downloading MODIS data you would require only two things apart from your region of interest and time frame. Those are short name and version number. So what are these things? So short name is the name of the dataset that you want to download in its shorter format. So suppose you want to download MODIS NDVI dataset, so that has a short name and a version number as well. Version number can be 6, 6.1, these kind of things. So you have to specify these two. So the way you find these two parameters is by going to the link just given below. So if you go to /site/collection/directory, you would find all the dataset and their short name and version number. You would see how to do that when we do it practically. This is a small code snippet to download MODIS dataset for your region. The way the flow is, so you first specify your username and password. So these username and password is of Earth data. Then you specify your short name. So in this case we are downloading MODIS 09GQ dataset and version is 6.1. So and then you specify your area of interest. So it can either be a bounding box or a shapefile. And finally you just have to specify the start and end date. So once you do this, you would be able to download dataset, download mod 09GQ dataset on your local computer. It also supports multi-threading, so that can improve your speed. So let us first see how to find the short name and version number for the data that you need to download. So you can actually go to this link, CMR Earth Data NASA Gov /site collection directory, and then let us go to this directory and click on the collections. So inside this collection you would have many providers which provide the dataset. For our case, MODIS is provided by LP-DAC ECS. So inside this you would find MODIS dataset. So let us just find MODIS. You would see that there are 338 MODIS results. So just browsing through this, you would find the dataset that you require. In our case we require MODIS 09GQ. Let us find for that, and you can see that there are two versions, 06 and 061. This is version 6 and 6.1. so you just have to copy this and the version number and paste it for your data, whichever data that you require, but make sure that it is only MODIS for now. The current package is still in version 1.0.0, so it is still in nascent stage. As the development goes on, there will be many more data sets that you can download from it. So once this is done, now let us find how to install the package. So you can just search MODIS tools pip install, and the first result on PyPI would be of that. So MODIS tools. So let us copy this and let us start coding or installing first. So currently I am in this MODIS tools directory, which is empty, and first we would create a virtual environment to install our package. So for that we can use VNV, and I would name my virtual environment .vnv. So let us activate it, and now we can install pip install MODIS tools, just paste it. So let it install the package. So once our installation is complete, now we can create a file to download the data. So let us name it as download MODIS, and here we can paste our code. So the code would be exact as we have already seen, but we just have to specify the imports. So let us first copy these and paste these. Let's go to the top, and we have to import our modules. So to import these modules, we are just going back to the GitHub repository and copying the code snippet from there. So you would see that there are 3 imports that we need to make. Let us make these 3 imports and paste it here. Okay, so once the imports are done, now we can change our username and password, change our short name and version number, and these filter criterias. So these filter criterias, currently there are 2 filter criterias. One is my bounding box and the temporal range, but there are various other parameters which you can specify, such as cloud cover, the provider name. So these are the additional parameters are documented in the API, which can also be looked at in the documentation. So if you go back to the URL, the CMR search URL or the catalog, you would see a documentation link here. Just click on that and go to API documentation. Under that, you would find granular search by parameters, and which lists out all the parameters which you can query by or reduce your search. You see that there is a shapefile option as well. So if you specify or if you pass in a shapefile, that also works instead of bounding box. You can also do cloud cover, the platform sensor, and various other parameters. So once this is done, go ahead and change your username and password. So I'll change it in the background, and we'll start our download. Okay, so once we have modified our username and password, we can go ahead and download the dataset. So you just have to type python modis.py. You won't see any feedback because there is no implementation of progress bar as of now, but if you just open it in another tab and look for those files, you would see that our files are being downloaded. So these are the 3 files that is being downloaded currently. They are downloading all in parallel, and that is why you might see an increase in speed. You can see these values changing. Currently only HDF files are supported, HDF file format, but in later versions it would allow you to download various other dataset as well and various other file formats. So that is how you would download MODIS dataset.